Hi guys,
Howdy.
welcome back to the Wombo Combo, where we talk about stuff we have no idea.
That's right. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Trevor?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been an adventure getting here. Get a little
Yeah.
break from school. I'm excited we can
Oh my
record earlier in the
gosh,
week.
This is our
Yeah.
fourth take on doing this intro.
It gets better every time
Are
we
we
do it,
are we
though.
are we accepting that one?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Thanks for
yeah.
tuning in. That's our podcast this week,
That's
guys.
our podcast.
Tune in next week for
How
a
are you
recap
today,
on next
Dakota?
episode.
How's your day been?
It's been a day. I
Yeah.
had to go to work. So.
Always enjoyable.
I
Yeah.
got you. I'm
Sure.
get to be home for quite a while. I got a good old break from school, so I'm excited we can. Like I said, I'm excited we can record earlier in the week.
I feel weird, dude. My camera is in the exact middle of my two screens, and I don't know where to look. Either way, I'm
Yeah.
not looking at it.
It's weird. I feel like I always have to look at the camera, but
I don't know where it's
on
at.
the spreadsheets on the other
We don't have spreadsheets.
screen. So.
This is all by heart. We memorize these.
Oh yeah, we just know statistics. But yeah, no, it's been pretty good week so far. I'm excited for the weekend. Excited to see.
I'm excited to watch the games this week.
Yeah, me too. So
You big Harry Potter fan, bro?
yes. Oh, because yeah, I am actually big Harry Potter fan. Yeah. I have other posters too. You just can't
Trevor,
see
you a big Zelda fan?
Yeah.
You know, they say you put what's important to you in your background. So
Right.
I have a
Walls,
pair of shoes.
Stars.
I have a pair of shoes, and that's all. That's my decoration. And a messy bed.
All right, so Dakota, you tell them what we're going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about League of Legends. It's a MOBA game made by Riot. It consists of 2 teams of 5 players in Summoner's Rift. And people just fight, and you have to kill the Nexus first to win. Is that what you were looking for, Trevor?
Not quite. I was thinking the topics.
I was very broad.
Very
Very
broad.
broad description.
Do you want me to get into details of what League of Legends is?
No, not what it is. What we're going to talk about.
Tell me
Okay,
about the positions. Dakota.
This week,
Oh.
we are talking about. We're going to start with MSI. They released the groups on that. We're going to do our own vote for Rookie of the Split because apparently they're not doing that this year in the LCS for some reason.
That's so weird that they're not doing it this year.
It is.
Yeah, especially
We're
because
gonna
how many
play-
rookies came in.
Guess that champ a different way this week. We're going to do it 20 questions style. We're going to do a week recap of what happened this week in League. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about the matches this upcoming weekend. We're going to make our guarantees and predictions, and we're going to try our new segment called Wombo Combo if everything works out.
Yeah, if we can get that one to work. All right,
Yeah,
so
it'll be a pretty good episode.
So going into our first topic, the MSI groups, I want to get your guys' first opinions when you saw the groups.
Okay, honestly, gut opinions wasn't even about like who's in whose group. I was just looking today and I saw LCO and I was like, what is that? And so I looked it up, and it turns out in February, after the Oceanic League had been disbanded for a whole month, they reopened it and rebranded it to LCO instead of OPL. Has like the same teams and everything. And my initial reaction was, what does that mean for NA?
Yeah, especially with all the Oceanic players coming over not being counted as imports.
Yeah.
It does bring up a good question: is are they going to be imports now? Like, are they going to take up an import slot? Which puts a lot of teams, honestly.
I don't know if they can. That messes up so many
It
teams.
does. It
And
messes up a ton of teams.
for
Well,
Riot
I
to say, hey, they don't count, and now, second split of the year, they're like, okay, well now they do count. I mean, it literally messes up most of the teams.
My prediction on that was they're probably just going to be like, OPL and LCO are completely different things. If you are a part of the OPL, you don't count as an import because that's the league that got disbanded. But if you're a part of the LCO, you do count as an import because that's a completely different league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm.
Uh, so
I
who
mean,
do
I
you,
guess we'll probably know more next split.
yeah. So
Yeah, they'll probably talk about either that or at Worlds they'll say something about it.
who do you think has the easiest and the hardest groups out of the three?
I think they're
Or you think they're all
For
about the same?
okay. Hardest is going to be obvious. It's going to be Korea because NA's number 2 seed. If you look, it's just based on number 2 seeds because like for the most part, 3 and 4 seeds are all about the same level. But 2 seeds, you have the Vietnam League, Taiwanese League, and NA.
yeah.
So that's a pretty big gap. I would hope, as an NA fan, I would hope the gap between NA and Taiwanese and Vietnam is pretty large.
You'd hope so.
It might not be that big actually. Taiwanese league
Taiwanese
has
is
been pretty good
Taiwanese is a good one,
over the years, so I
and
would assume
Vietnam's
that
been on the
they're not
up
bad.
and up. I think Vietnam was actually supposed to do really good at last Worlds, but they were the ones that couldn't go. Right? Am I correct in that one? They were the ones who got kicked out because of
I think I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it was
Restriction.
Vietnam.
COVID restrictions.
It's top 3 teams from each region, correct?
Top 3? What do you mean?
No, it's
No.
one. It's
It's
MSI.
Oh,
one.
it's one.
So it's one
Each-
team
Each region
for
gets
each
one team.
region for MSI.
Sorry, I misread this.
You're thinking of
You're
Worlds.
thinking of Worlds, but right. So yeah. So
Okay, I see.
yeah, I mean, I think
it is top 2, right? Because if it's top 2, it's gonna be very hard to bet against any of the top 2 seeds coming out. Like honestly,
I think it's top 2.
like
I can't imagine they'd go on to the next stage with 3 teams.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's top 2. And if that's the case, then I think LCS has a decent chance to get out.
chance of making it out, but
Right.
how far do they make it after that?
Beyond that part, I mean, beyond that point, it's. I'm not honestly sure that LCS can really compete with the higher, like tier regions. I mean, like even LEC.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not sure how well.
When the
LEC
when the teams actually get announced and like playoffs are like done, I'll go back and watch highlights from the teams that are going. I guess it really just depends. I don't think NA's top teams will have. It's not going to be that big of a gap right now.
Let's just assume, since Cloud9's number 1, let's just assume that they're gonna make it through. And like if you put current Cloud9 up against, I don't know. I mean, I assume neither of you have watched any LPL or LCK.
Kind of. I
No.
think it's Danwon or Dragon X. I don't remember. I think it's Dragon X that is top of LCK, and they've looked pretty good.
Yeah. And then as far as Europe, it's
But there have been a lot of player interviews and stuff that have came out and said this is the weakest the world has looked at League, like in a very long time, just because all COVID stuff's going on. Like, there's no there's no like true favorite. You know, when you go into a world championship and you have a true favorite, it's like, oh my gosh, this team's smacking everyone around. They're the best in China, best in Korea. They're just expected to win, and I feel like there's not that right now. So
Yeah.
I feel like if any MSI, I would give NA a chance. It'd probably be this one, even though NA is probably not the greatest they've ever been at MSI right now.
No.
I would say it feels like, even though LCS has been really close, it feels like NA as a region is just, it feels weaker than last year even.
I don't think it's weaker than last year. I think it's stronger than last year. 100%. Last year was so weak. If you think about Spring Split, Cloud9 wasn't even that good, and they absolutely dumpstered everyone because everyone was just so bad. And then going into summer, like, if you watch not TSM, Team Liquid was in first place for most of the split during summer. But if you watch their games, they were not good games. They were just sitting back for like 20 minutes and just waiting and waiting and waiting until they hit power spikes, and they weren't being proactive at all, and it just looked bad. And that's why I think when we hit Worlds, we looked so atrocious, is because no team was playing good. I think teams this split have focused a lot more on improving as a team than trying to be the best. And I think that's the difference between this spring split and last summer split. I don't think all those teams were just sitting there and like, I want to improve. They were just like, hey, I know how to win a game this way. I want to stick to this game. And that's why Liquid had that drastic change after they went like, did they go 0-3 first week at Worlds? Or they 1-2?
I think
and then they like,
I think they were 1-2.
They like completely changed and started going for these early game plays, and they won. They were like went 2-1 and beat whoever the number 1 seed was. I think it was G2. And everyone was like, they look so much better. Why didn't they just do that from the start? It's because they weren't looking to improve in NA. They were just looking to win. And so they kept playing the same style over and over again. But this split, you saw them change. They pulled out multiple different styles. Jensen was playing picks that no one else had been playing. Like, I feel like the top teams are very much concerned about just getting better, especially with the whole spring split is not actually a split. It's just one long split. Teams just want to ramp up for the end of summer. And I think that's a positive thing.
Yeah, I definitely think them going for the longer split. It doesn't really. I don't know about you guys, but like with the break between the splits, like the really long break and it restarting, it felt like a restart for the players too. In my book, I didn't really carry much weight from split to split, and this one even talking about it at the end of regular season that these low tier teams they don't get a fresh slate when summer split starts because it's not really a new split.
Mm-hmm.
So it does make them want to improve more in the spring because you don't get rid of your record,
For sure.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see how LCS does at MSI. I think it said the winner of MSI gets an extra spot at Worlds, which would be nice for any region.
Yeah, it would be nice for LCS because don't they get one less than LEC?
No, that was just last year
That's just last year.
That was just because they won MSI or whatever.
Gotcha.
Or they got top 2 or whatever it was.
So yeah, it'd be really wild if a wild card actually ended up winning MSI, and they'd have one more team to represent. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it would be awesome.
I'd love to see an underdog.
I mean,
I'd love to see Cloud9 win. I don't give a shit about an underdog.
Well, Cloud9 would
honestly
almost be an underdog.
I don't know, dude. Okay, maybe going in, but like at the end of the day, if they win, is anyone really going to consider a team with perks on it an underdog?
I mean, probably not. I mean, it's just because the region as a whole is probably weaker than LCK, LPL, and probably LEC. So
Yeah.
most people would consider them in a head-to-head matchup. Most people consider, because there's got to be an underdog, right, in a matchup.
Yeah. Plus,
I mean, I guess there doesn't have to be, but
No, there doesn't have to be. I don't think there's an underdog in Cloud9 versus Team Liquid this weekend.
no, yeah, you're right. There doesn't have to be, but I think most people would consider any LCS team to be an underdog when you in the head-to-head versus any of the other regions.
now, correct me if I'm wrong, but LCS is still a patch behind.
Yep.
Yes.
And they will be
They're
until
gonna
MSI.
They will be going into MSI. That's crazy. It's
Yeah,
They'll
it's a
have
crazy
time. They'll have
disadvantage.
time in between to practice and scrim
It's like
on the
3
official
weeks,
patch, but
3 weeks.
they're definitely behind. I mean, the other regions are literally playing on the MSI patch right now, I believe. So
They
they're
are,
going to be.
Because every other team took a break between split to playoffs. NA did not. They went straight from split to mid-season showdown because of their
Right.
format.
Yeah, so it's going to be. I mean, like I said, they do have a little bit of time, but it's not going to be. I mean, they're not going to be as prepared, I don't think, as obviously LPL, at least any of the other regions, because they've had weeks to practice on this patch, whereas LCS will have like 3 weeks.
in my eyes anyway. It's like they're not even giving LCS a
Right.
chance because LCS
Yeah.
traditionally is weak at international things, and
Yeah.
taking that and just giving them another handicap. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me.
Just to wrap this up so we don't spend too much time on this since there's no team announced. Who do you guys have winning? No team's announced. You don't know who's playing. Who do you think's winning? What league?
What league?
Yeah.
LPL.
Yeah, I was gonna
LPL?
I was gonna go with LPL as
Nope,
well.
Trevor. Different answer. Can't use the same one.
Different answer. Okay, LCK.
I actually was going to throw a spicy one in there. I think EU.
Possibly.
They have the freaking dream team. If any EU team was going to work internationally, it's going to be this one. You have Reckless, best performing international AD carry from the West ever. Caps, best performing. What do you think? Oh, best performing mid laner from West internationally. Wonder, best top laner performing Western internationally. My words don't even make sense anymore. Essentially, this whole team was built for international success. It's literally a team that has had the best success from EU internationally. Every single player has been to the semifinals of, the finals of Worlds and lost, came second place. So,
I mean, I could see it happening.
Yeah.
I don't think it's.
I mean,
if there was ever a time,
region.
it's now. And I know that they looked kind of shaky in playoffs against Schalke, but I low key just think they're being very cocky right now in their play because like why
it's
not?
double elimination as well, right? So even if they lost that game, they weren't. I mean, you can always play with like the safety net of losers bracket, I guess.
Yeah.
Except when you're in the finals. See, that's what I don't like.
Right.
If whoever wins versus Cloud9 and TL on Saturday, whoever wins that game does not get to lose it. They don't get the chance to lose.
Yeah, that's a little bit. I was thinking about that last split when it happened. I was like, it feels really bad for.
Like honestly, I feel like it's just a bigger advantage if you lose that game. Like if I'm Cloud9, you lose that game, you go on to beat two teams. You got momentum because you just won 2 best of 5s, or maybe it's just one. Maybe it's just you drop down and win
That's
one.
just another one.
Okay. Either way, you got momentum because you just won one, and the other team doesn't have that safety net. It's like okay, you beat us the one time, but we know what you're playing now.
On the other end though, the winner gets to watch this. Like, so the way it works is the loser
play
goes
on
to play.
Saturday.
Yeah, so the winner will get to watch the best of 5 the previous day. Not to mention, I'm not sure how strenuous it is to play 2 best of 5s, back to back, within 2 days. But the winner doesn't have to do that, which I'm sure is.
I mean, yeah,
something.
but
I mean, obviously.
think about this, Brand. They've done this format for one split so far, and 100% of the time, the team from the loser bracket won.
That's true. 100% of
You're
the
right.
time.
You're right. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if it changes this year.
100% of the time in this format, TSM wins. TSM's gonna win it all.
That's true. 100% of the time, TSM does win. So.
Speaking of TSM.
Oh gosh.
That's an awful segue because we're always talking about them. Rookie of the split.
Rookie of the split is next.
Lost from TSM.
All right.
The segue.
He's not a rookie though.
Yeah, I don't think he counts because he was on Echo Fox.
He played on Echo Fox.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So the three,
I was just going with the segue.
that are just as young as every rookie out there that are not considered rookies, according to what I looked up, are Saligo, Fate God, and Lost, because they had starting spots. And I think I think Ablazov and Palafox have played games before, and Diamond, but they've only subbed in. They weren't like permanent roster moves. So Saligo, Fate God got subbed in for half a split when they took out Someday. I don't remember what split it was. But they played for half a split continuously, and so they are not considered rookies anymore. Lost played for a full split with Echo Fox, I believe. I think he was subbed out a couple times. but that was back when he was considered an import, and so
Gotcha.
he's not one. So
Okay.
the rookies we have to choose from, again, according to the site I looked on, I don't even know if this is accurate, are Revenge, Niles, Iconic, Ablaze Olive, Palafox Diamond, Fudge, Rays question mark because they didn't even have Rays, but Rays is coming from OCE, and I'm not sure if he's considered a rookie or not because he played for amateur teams, but I'm not sure if any
He played at Worlds.
professional. Rays did. So did Fudge. He played in the play-ins.
Oh yeah.
Really?
He's considered a rookie. Yeah, he played for Mammoth. He was on Mammoth Academy. He got subbed in for Worlds because he turned old enough to play. So I guess since he never played a full split for Mammoth, I guess they might not consider him they might consider him a rookie because of that. Neo and then Newbie also. Newbie's an import. Did you guys know that?
From,
He's not even OCE.
I thought he was. Where's he from?
I have no
Europe?
idea.
I thought it was from OC.
No, I'm pretty sure he's import, which
thought
is
he was
weird
from
because I thought
Canada.
they were a team of non-imports.
Are you sure he's not from Canada?
Oh, the society I said literally had. I'll look him up.
I want to say,
He's Chinese. He's Chinese.
really.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh.
newbies. It says Argentina. Country of birth, Argentina.
Oh, he played for a Chinese team,
Oh, gotcha.
It's funny.
right? It says something about a Chinese team. I don't even know it.
Uh,
Either way, Argentina is import.
Yeah.
That is Latin America League.
Which is it an import?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
it is.
Latin America is because it's in MSI.
Didn't they switch?
Mm-mm.
Was it? It was literally just OPL.
Yeah, it's literally just
Yeah.
Australia, which doesn't even make sense to me. I'm like, dude, Australia's so far away. Why are they not considered imports for us? They should just be like for
I thought it was. Okay.
freaking Japanese or
No.
Korean league or something like that. Because like, I don't know, distance wise, it just doesn't make sense that Australian people go all the way to NA.
All right, so we've seen the rookies. Dakota, who's your vote for? I think I already know. But who's your vote for?
Well, let's. I mean, we're going to talk about it a little
Oh,
bit.
we're
Are
gonna
we
talk about them.
I just put here. If you see here, I put rough rank. And that's just okay. So the top one is I feel like how high they were at points in the split, and the bottom is how low they were. So for Revenge, I had 2 to 4. I feel like in the beginning when he was solo killing Afari, I feel like he was top 2. I feel like he's fallen down from then. Then you have Niles. Niles 9 to 10. He's always been the worst top laner in the league. Always been one of the 2 worst rookies in the league. So
Well, he's got my vote.
I'd vote
Iconic.
for Niles. Just how happy he makes me when I watch him die.
Iconic is I had him 4 to 7. I think he was actually the only jungler rookie. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. He did really well early, but I mean, there's not much you can do when you're on a team that bad. Blazov 6 to 8. He didn't do anything special. He's kind of consistent though, so he got some points. Palafox is 3 to 6. I feel like for the most split though, for the most of the split, he was 6, and then I feel like towards the end he came up, and I feel like he ended top 3, top 4 maybe. Because he had some pretty good games in the back half of the split. Diamond 8 to 10. I mean, he got replaced before the split was over, so of course he's not one of the top ones. Fudge, I put 1 to 3. I feel like since lock-in, he has been pretty consistent, and he's just been getting better and better each week. Rays 4 to 6. He's been really consistent, but he hasn't really like popped off and carried like he wanted 80 carry to. So Neo 1 to 3. He's had some monster carry games. His only downfall is I think when Aphromu doesn't look good, he doesn't look good. I think we saw a lot of that this weekend, but it's playoffs, so it doesn't really count. Newbie 8 to 10. By far the worst support in the league. He's ugly. I don't understand why they have him.
Worse than Diamond.
I think he's worse than Diamond. But Diamond's on a better team, so they wanted to get rid of Diamond. I don't know. Like newbie just he was like, okay. So everyone's problem with Diamond is Diamond would sit there and he wouldn't do anything, and then when he finally did something, it would look forced. So he never made the right plays at the right time. Newbie just looked like he didn't know how to play for most part. Like he would miss hooks, he would miss time, abilities, skill shots, he would misplay fights. He just looked like a minion the entire series split. He just looked like an extra minion, a tanky minion running around with his AD carry.
Would you give him least improved rookie?
Least improved rookie?
Yeah.
Niles. Niles 100%. Niles did not get any better. No, I mean, he didn't.
Yeah, you're right.
I started worst top laner into worst top laner. Newbie has some higher highs than Niles just because Stixay did relatively well some games, which made Newbie look better. I don't think it necessarily was Newbie doing better. So I do have him on an upper trajectory. I have Revenge on a downward because I feel like after early, him and who's their mid laner? Insanity.
Oh.
Is he even a rookie? I don't think I put him on the list. Oops.
I don't
No, I don't think he is. I don't think he is. Insanity. Both of them looked good early, but they looked weak late. And Iconic, yeah. So basically any team that their team had a slump, they had a slump. So I think really it's between Fudge and Neo. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, that's definitely the top two in my book. You
Yep.
know, I love to hate on Niles. It's one of my favorite things.
What did Niles do to you?
I don't know. He sits way too close to his camera, and he's always chewing on something.
Dude, Niles talks so much trash. I don't know if you guys have seen like post game, but he's always like talking about how the enemy top laner got lucky or they got ganked a lot or something like that. And I'm like, dude, you are so much the worst top laner in the league.
I would go to as much as say he's the worst player in the league in general.
I don't know how to say that, dude.
I would.
I don't. I think Newbie honestly is, in my opinion. He looks
Well,
like
they're both on the worst team in the league. So
yeah.
True. So, top two
they're all
rookies.
the worst players.
Off the bottom two rookies, top two rookies, Fudge and Neo.
Fudge.
It's hard not to vote for the team that came in first.
True.
But Neo popped off and surprised me more than Fudge did.
Neo surprised me more, but I think Fudge had better play.
I think.
In all honesty.
I don't know. Fudge was like you said, he was a very constant player for C9. He always did his job. But I can't think of a lot of times that he was the main carry.
Okay. I mean, that's because he played weak side a lot, but like,
yeah,
if
I know.
they put him on Camille, he hard carried. But like, okay, let's just look at the split progression of Fudge here, though. Okay, so start with the lock-in when he was getting down 40 to 50 CS every single lane versus Someday and Alfari. All right? Jump to mid-season when he's holding his own, and he's not getting a lead, but he's not losing a lead, and they're just playing well, and he's playing Gragas mostly, and he's having really good team fights. Flash forward to this most recent games they've played. Fudge played this matchup, Renekton versus Sion, both ways. He played the Sion into the Renekton, and he played the Renekton into the Sion. He solo killed Someday as Renekton versus Sion. Then they flipped, and he was up 40 CS at like 17 minutes on Sion versus Renekton. So he absolutely top gapped Someday on both sides of the matchup, and Someday's supposed to be the second best top laner in the league.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's really hard to vote against the top team. I think the top team just sweeps all the rewards.
Swipe him.
Swipe or no swiping.
So
I don't know, dude. The MVP race is sounding kind of close, dude.
I mean, obviously, rookie of the split, I gotta give the Fudge.
Brad?
Yeah, Fudge. Yeah. I think I was like really high on Neo, but after
Recency bias sucks, dude, because that series looks
Watching
so.
that series, we'll get to that series.
That's
We'll get
very
to that.
true. But that aside, you're completely right about Fudge. I mean, Neo Neo looked really good this split, and I think he's going to have a really good career. But I mean, coming out of the gates, Fudge has been really impressive, and of course, some of it is because he's on the #1 team. But I mean, anyone that solo kills someday, that's already a great player, and for it to be his rookie split, I don't know.
Yeah, he did
It's
his
got to be
part to
Fudge.
make his team #1.
Yeah.
And playing most of the time on weak side is even more impressive, because it's something that a lot of people don't like to do, and it's not easy to do. So,
This weekend is going to be a huge test for him. Having
Yeah.
to go against the #1 top laner 3, possibly 5 games in a row.
Yeah.
It's going to see.
Yeah, it'll be really fun to see. But yeah, for me as well, I think it's Fudge.
So
I think you can
heard
make
it
a case
here.
for Neo, but-
The Wombo combo rookie of the split officially. Congratulations, Cloud9 Fudge.
Congratulations.
We'll
send
mail
the
you the
trophy to you.
trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll mail you the trophy.
We'll mail you a Capri Sun.
So, next in line, we have Guess That Champ. Your favorite game we play here. The only game we play here.
The only game.
This time we're doing it a little different. And we're going to try it out this way, see which way we like it better. I think this way is going to be better because it's going to be a lot more engaging than last time and not just guesses.
Yeah.
So we're going to play it like 20 questions. So I have a champion. You guys don't know the champion. You are going to take turns asking me questions, right?
Yeah.
You get one guess per round of questions, right? You can choose to get your guess in after the first question or after the second question. You get it after the first question, you have a chance to beat the other player to the punch, right? But you don't get to hear the second question, and the second question could give it away. So it's really risk versus reward here. And I'll let you guys play rock, paper, scissors or do some kind of thing to see who goes first.
Do you want to go first, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go first.
That is.
I'll go first.
All right.
Is this champion a human?
No. Brandon, you want to take a guess?
Is it a female?
No.
I want to take a guess.
Okay.
It's Tom Kitsch.
No.
Okay.
Brandon, you do get your free guess here. The guesses don't stack,
Yeah,
so
you
you
might
might
as
as
well
well
take it.
guess.
Let me think. Cho'Gath.
Wrong.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Trev.
So it's a male non-human. So
He didn't say it was male.
I just said it wasn't
It
female.
wasn't female.
I don't know if there's any champions that aren't.
Does
Whatever.
Vel'Koz have a gender?
I think usually people call him he.
I think, yeah, I guess Vel'Koz doesn't. I don't know.
What about
if he does.
Kindred?
I can narrow this down real quick. Is this
Okay.
champion from Demacia?
No.
Is this champion from the Void?
Yes.
Kha'Zix.
Correct.
Dang. I went too specific with my questions.
You did. You did. See, that's the problem. You got to get your guessing quicker if you're going to go that specific.
Alright, do you have another one or is that it?
You guys want to do another?
I mean,
We'll do
yeah,
another one.
that was pretty fast.
That one
All right.
You're first this time, Brandon.
Okay.
I'm going to do Jace again, guys. Okay.
Piltover.
I have to think of someone I actually know about.
I can do one.
No. You did yours last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out of here, Trevor.
I got some bangers for next week. I'm already thinking of some. They're gonna be hard.
Okay, y'all can go ahead. I'm just making sure I have like their page up so I can see their
Okay.
lore and stuff, just in case I don't know something about it.
Is it a humanoid?
I don't like how you said that, but yes. Just say human.
That's not the same
Oh,
thing as a human.
Well, yeah.
What's a humanoid?
Just something that looks human.
Yeah.
Are there any things in League that look human that aren't?
Fiddlesticks.
Malphite? Fiddlesticks?
Malphite looks human?
I mean, he's got
He has
arms
two
and legs.
arms, 2 legs. That's humanoid. Alright, so we know
It's
it's a human because Dakota didn't know what humanoid meant.
It's a humanoid. No, it's a humanoid.
It's human.
I don't want to
Alright,
classify it as human.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm gonna take my guess.
I don't know what it. Yeah, go ahead.
Talon.
No.
Is it Is it a female?
Trevor, you gotta ask a really
Is it-
specific
is it a
question now.
female?
'Cause I can't guess. What?
Is it a female?
Yes, it is a female.
Very specific. Go ahead and guess, Trevor. You get one for
I
free.
get one. Is it Lux?
No, I don't know
Are
anything
they-
about Lux.
Are they from
You
Ionia?
can say she. You know it's a girl now.
Oh, okay. Is she from Ionia? He
I'm gonna
doesn't
say
know.
no. Give me a second.
If it's not really,
Just a quick one.
Tell me,
it's not
tell me
really,
who it is,
yes.
and I can tell you if they're from Ionia.
Okay, yeah, for sure. No, it's not from Ionia. I know she's not, but I just wanted to throw you guys off.
I'd like to take a guess.
Go ahead.
Katarina.
Correct. Can you see it off my eyeballs?
No. Did I really get it
I-
right?
Yeah,
there's some cheating in here somewhere.
it's definitely. You got the first one. What do you mean there's some cheating?
I had to ask more questions.
One.
Yeah,
Katarina.
he knows it's not from Ionia, and he knows it's a girl, and that's it. And he guesses Katarina. I don't buy it.
I don't know. I don't have to tell you.
Hey, to be fair, Brandon, those are the only two things I know about Katarina. So,
I'm just
That's
really
kinda
smart. I'm the lore
where's
guy.
she from? Is
You're the,
she Demacia?
What?
She's not.
Ghostwriter? Noxian?
what does that have to do with it? There was no lore in there.
She's the girl,
I'm the
and
lore
she's
guy.
not from Ionia.
There are so many champions that aren't from Ionia and that are a female.
And by the way, Trevor, you can't do you can't take someone's turn because it has to switch off week to week because we're keeping up with score.
Gotcha.
And otherwise, I'd get a chance to get a point when I'm not supposed to get a point.
Gotcha.
What a fun.
Wait. Trevor, you only have one. Why did I put two?
I don't know.
Jeez. Okay. All right, so that was guess that champ.
I'll say I did like that way better than last week.
Yeah, it's a lot better
Just
than it's a lot better than
know.
it's
I mean,
Piltover. Is it Jace? Is it Maokai? Is it whatever?
Yeah, it's a
Just
whole
let
lot better.
everyone know I'm winning.
Because you're the
because
only
I'm
one who's had
gone.
2 weeks.
But I'm winning.
I'm gonna get 2-0 on Trevor next week, and then
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
They're gonna be kind of hard, I think.
so series review.
Oh, what a fun! What a
Do you guys
fun!
get that?
Yeah,
We
meme review. I got you.
Yeah, there you go. We don't have to spend too long on here. TSM's looked pretty bad. They barely squeaked out a win. They're kind of trash. 100 Thieves absolutely obliterated Dig. They look by far the best team in North America. We
Yes,
want to move on?
by far. I'm not even sure that they could improve much more. To be
No,
honest,
not at all.
I think.
All right.
Did you guys watch that clip that did they post that LCS posted today?
No,
No.
I did not. What was it about?
It was about people picking a new team since their team's already knocked out.
Who picked on who? What?
Uh,
They're
it was
all
just a bit-
PG.
It was like
Cloud9, 'cause they're practically all Cloud9 members.
no, it's just funny because they were like, it was Riv talking, and he was like, "This is how you pick a new team when your team's already eliminated or whatever," and it's like, color and all that jazz. And at the very end, he's like, I forget what he said, but basically he said that everyone's just gonna be a 100 Thief fan. I thought it was funny.
I mean, 100
yeah,
Thieves look
100 Thieves.
really strong. You want to talk about that series first, or the TSM versus EG series first?
I mean, we can
TSM.
talk about that one first.
TSM.
Okay, fine. We can talk about TSM first. What to say about TSM? They look terrible.
No, for real.
Uh,
Do you actually think they look
no.
terrible?
Game,
I don't think they look that great, to be honest. I mean,
I think game one was okay.
I don't
I'm a
think they look good
TSM
at all.
fan. I'm a TSM fan, but I don't think they looked. I don't think they looked that great
I
at
think it was
all.
game. I think game 4 they looked good. I think the last game, but
They were
Game-
behind.
no,
they
game
they
4,
didn't have
they
a
were-
lead.
Yeah, game 4
Wait.
they were behind like almost
They
3K.
didn't have
goal.
a lead. They
which
didn't have a
one's the one
lead
they
in
smacked
any
him?
game
Which
but
one's
the
the one they
first one.
smacked him?
Game 1
Huh?
was the only. It was
Okay,
like,
it might have
one
been the
is-
first one.
And even then they were behind at one point. It was, but
What's
I mean,
the game where they absolutely smacked?
it was game
Was that
one.
game 1?
game
that was
Okay,
one.
game
yeah,
one.
yeah. I thought that was game 4 for
And
some reason.
they had a deficit early, even, and then game 2 they obviously got smacked hard. Game 3 they
Yeah.
they came back and won. But like,
What,
I'm not
what
sure
worries
how
me-
well that was or how bad EG,
Yeah.
like how good did TSM play or how bad could EG just not close out games, because they got a lead versus TSM in basically every game, even the first one they had a small lead, and they just couldn't close out. And TSM, they just, in my opinion, they did not look that great. And I don't understand what happened between last week or the week before and then last week, because the week before when they played Liquid, it looked like they understood how to play early game. They played maybe
Yeah,
not the
I mean,
perfect early game, but it was a lot stronger than it had been
I
previously.
said
And then
this.
this week it was,
I said this last week on the podcast. I think TSM's lost their identity. I think they're in an
I don't
identity
know.
crisis. They dropped their wallet. Someone took the TSM one out and put a fake one in that says
Play carries top.
100
Yeah,
Thieves or something. It's inconsistent, but
some of these picks are really, I don't understand. I don't quite understand them. I mean,
well,
I was talking to Dakota earlier about it, and they've, in the regular season they never put a priority on Udyr. Udyr was still strong. They never really put a priority on Udyr. But all of playoffs,
First pick.
if Udyr's open, first pick. Which, I mean, I know Udyr's strong, but like no other team, it feels like, is prioritizing Udyr. I mean, there are champions like Rel that are left up.
Yeah,
Nar.
I was
I
actually
mean,
so
a lot of
upset that
these
they
top
weren't
laners,
first picking Rail.
right? And they're being left open, and TSM is not picking them first. They're going straight for the Udyr. What's that smile for, Dakota?
I don't know.
But in the Udyr pick, I mean, not that I'm saying Udyr has looked bad. I mean, Spica's not look bad on Udyr, but I just don't think it's a, there are a lot of other good junglers. There's Hakram, Lilia. There's even Olaf isn't bad, but I don't know. They're first picking Udyr like he doesn't know, or he doesn't have anything else to play, or like it's so strong that you can't
Yeah.
give it over to the other team.
Yeah.
I
And
think
I
both
don't
teams'
think that's correct.
both teams' preparation for this league looked abysmal.
But,
Like
I mean,
it looked
even
like both
picks
teams ran it
Italy.
back every single game. They
Yeah.
if you look at the comps, it doesn't look like either team made adjustments at all. They just kept saying,
Yeah.
we'll beat you. Even if we do the same thing last game, we can figure something out and beat you. Blah blah blah. Like your thing about them picking the same jungler. I think they
They only picked two
picked
top
up.
laners.
Yeah,
TSM
I
I think
literally
they only
picked
picked two
Nocturne,
80
Camille.
carries,
Two
two
80
top
carries,
laners.
two top laners,
I think
two
for the most
supports, I
part,
think.
I think for the most part, Power People played the same relatively. And then you look on the
played,
other side. I mean,
Houston
the first
Revenge.
game, the first game from EG was different. They threw out a lot of stuff, and it didn't really work out. But then I feel like they went on Nico Rel duty, and they just kept playing that over and over again, hoping that would work.
Which I honestly, I think the picks for EG were fine. I just think they didn't. They couldn't convert the lead. I mean, if you look at the games, they knew how to get a lead early. It's they couldn't convert it, and I don't think that's. I don't think the TSM outplayed them. I just think they just couldn't convert it. I honestly, I don't think TSM played too well. They picked TF one game, and it didn't look like they knew how to play around TF. The ults that Power People was using, like, he would show up top lane when the fight was almost over, and he'd have to fly. Like, he literally went top lane after Huni died, and then flashed away, and that was it. And they didn't use the TF to get any advantages or anything like that. So that was game 2. I think that's when they lost, but it didn't look like they knew how to play it. They played this Camille top with Ignite TP, and more times than anything, he would just get caught out and he couldn't get out. He would go in with his hook shot and he couldn't get out. I mean, he won a lot of trades early, but it didn't do anything.
I absolutely hate the Ignite teleport Camille games.
Yeah, I don't.
So mad because they tried it 2 times in regular season, and it didn't work either time. And then it doesn't work in game 2, and they pull it out in game 4. And I'm surprised they won game 4. I really don't like.
They should not have won game 4.
Huni's a good player, but he has been playing weak side all split. And they said it at the end of game 3. They were talking about it. That was probably the first weak side Nocturne they've ever seen.
It was they put him on carries, and he didn't look good this weekend or this past weekend. He did not look good. Every game he was behind. I feel like even the Nocturne games where he actually did well, he still played bad, but uh, um, he could do. He just went on the Tristana late game, and they ended up winning. But he played carries, and he just didn't look good. He lost to Impact every game in lane. The Nocturne, I think it looked pretty good game 1, but game 3 it was not good. It was he lost lane.
He had to
Ended up working out
flash out
because
away from Impact one time on that.
right, he had to use his ults defensively that game. So I don't know. I wasn't a big fan. I mean, if you want to play something more carry top lane, which I was gonna say Renekton, and I think Renekton might have been banned.
Yeah, they've been Renekton every game. TSM did.
But I mean, even so, there are other picks. You know, there are other picks. I'm not a
Practically
big
have
fan
to
of
ban it
the.
versus Impact. I said you practically have to ban Renekton versus Impact.
Right. So I don't know. I don't think TSM looked good. I just don't think EG could convert, and that's it. It's worrying for me.
Yeah.
It's worrying for me because TSM I don't think looked that great, and they did end up winning, which is I'm happy they won. But I mean, if you want to, I mean, looking at the other series, 100T looked freaking amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, and I'm not sure how much of that is Golden Guardians looking bad or what, but or Dignitas.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Dignitas.
And
They're both yellow.
Dignitas is 2-0 against TSM, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys want to switch to the other series now. I don't know if you guys are done talking about TSM.
Well,
But
what I was going to say, my last point on the TSM also is a point about the 100 Thieves series. I think both teams took a 180 this week in their games. TSM took a 180 and still looked pretty bad.
yeah,
They took a 180 because their early game looked like night and day different from what they were trying in Team Liquid series. They even drafted more early pressure in this EG series and still lost early game.
Yep.
And so something happened there that I don't know if they recorrected but went too far on late game. They were like,
they
we
might have
sucked late game.
overcorrected.
Let's overcorrect again. And so they went past it. Maybe they can find a middle ground in this upcoming series, and then you go from 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves look like they didn't know how to play League of Legends in that series versus Cloud9. They were just so passive. They let everything happen. And this series, they were so aggressive. Closure was making amazing plays around the map. They looked really good. And to your point, it does bring up the question: was it just Dig looking that bad, or did 100 Thieves find what they were looking for? That early split type style, because it did remind me of them during lock-in. Honestly, parts of it did. They were making bot dives work. Ryoma was working extremely well with side lanes and working with Closer, and Closer just took over. I think Closer absolutely took over, and then FBI was getting like a quadra kill every team fight.
Yeah,
it looked really good.
I agree. I don't know if it was. I think Dig. They definitely looked bad the last game. I think they were really tilted, but that's not to take away. I mean, 100 Thieves looked really good. I watched all the games, and I was
young team like Dig.
Yeah,
usually
if your leader.
Yeah.
I mean, usually when a young team loses the first game like that, it's very hard for young players to be like, okay, it's okay. We just need to reset, and we're going to start again. Series is 0-0, because that's how you're supposed to treat it. You're supposed to treat each game like it's the first game of the series. And so it's very hard to reset as a young player. First playoff series for most of those players, besides Dardoch and Aframu. I think everyone is their first playoff series. So it's really hard for them. So I think after that first game, they kind of took it to heart, and they kind of got scared, and so they kind of backed off. And when you back off, you allow teams to make those plays, and when the team's making those plays, you get even more scared, and you get more tilted, and it's just a vicious cycle. And I think that's why they looked worse and worse each game.
They did.
They couldn't stop the bleeding.
They did.
Yeah. So 100 Thieves definitely looking a lot stronger coming into this week's matchup. TSM, on the other hand, looking...
It's scary for a TSM fan. Let me tell you.
The thing is if it was definitively one issue throughout the whole playoffs, it'd be like, okay, it's looking scary because it looks like they can't fix the issue, but it's something that they can work on. Even if they do lose out this weekend, it's something they can work on. Right now, it's more scary for the future, I think, than current. Because right now, they're flip-flopping so much, you don't know what kind of team they are. And having the identity set of a team is so much of how you improve, because you can't improve if you don't have an identity. And this is not an issue you should see in playoffs. This is an issue you should see at the beginning of the split. And it's so weird that this is coming out now, that you have one series versus the best early game team in the league, and you win early game. Then you have a series against a scrappy mid-game team that creates plays and then wins the side lane late game in EG, and they lost early game to them,
Almost every
and then
game.
they were beating them in the side lane. And
I'll tell you what, if we didn't have Spica, I'm not sure how many games we would actually win. And that man steals so many Barons.
Yeah, that guy stole Baron with his dying
insane.
breath, saved the game.
Yeah, I don't think we would have won that game had he not stole Baron.
Oh,
but,
absolutely not. They probably could have just at least got inhibitor.
Yeah, but to your point, I agree. I think there's a lack of identity. I mean, it's like there's too many problems, and they try to fix one, but they break the other one,
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not a big fan of some of the picks they've been picking. Honestly, I kind of want to see Spica play something other than Udyr. Not that he hasn't been playing bad, but
I just don't think
they're
I
better
don't think
picks. I
Udyr,
think.
when you have a player like Spica, who honestly is the sole playmaker outside of Sword Art, I think they rely on him a lot to get these advantages, not only on positioning and stealing objectives and stuff, but also in fights. He's very good at picking targets and stuff. But when you have a champion like that, I mean a player like that, you don't want to stick him on a champion who has a one stun ability. You can stun one person,
Right.
because it's very hard for him to control a team fight. He goes in, he goes after the 80 carry, and then what happens? He ints like he did in the first series versus Team Liquid when he was going after Tactical, because he can't get to him on Udyr.
I definitely think, I mean, they touched on it a little bit during the broadcast, that they kept putting him on Udyr because Udyr is so good at controlling the neutral camps like Dragon and Baron. And like they were getting first dragons like 6-7 minutes almost every game. And that is something that's really strong. And of course, I would have loved to see Spica on Hecarim, but Hecarim was banned every single game of the series.
Last split they were talking about how good his Nidalee was, and you've seen Nidalee. I mean, she's not as popular, but you've seen her come up here and there.
She's super strong. Nidalee Renekton's the strongest combo because of the dive potential.
Right. Obviously Renekton was banned, but still Nidalee I think is really strong. I mean, you still have.
Well, they banned Renekton. I don't think EG would have banned it if they just would have kept Renekton open, and then they could have picked Nidalee. But it just seems like that's not an option for them. It doesn't seem like they want to go that way.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, there's like Lilia. Lilia's still really strong, and there are other picks too. I don't know, and who's to say? I mean, even what was that, Trevor?
My desk just moved.
Well, even if you want to leave Udyr up, whatever, and you still want to pick Udyr, I'm not sure that he's worth the first pick.
Yeah,
yeah.
It does have to do with jungle priority. Jungle priority is weird right now because there's only a finite number of junglers that are really good right now.
Right.
So I guess if their whole game plan was around having a champion that could control neutral objectives and they could just ban out the rest and they could have stole Udyr. Because I don't think you want Lilia for early objectives. I think she's more of a later one because if you're against an Udyr, you can't really do much. But then I guess they had to first pick Udyr. So.
Mhm.
I mean, TSM didn't throw out. Hold on.
But it's just
TSM didn't
it's
throw out
not
a single jungle ban.
yeah, it's not the fact that they picked Udyr. I mean, it's not the fact that they could have went for other options. It's the fact that their whole game plan was centered on this one thing, and they didn't change it at all. It wasn't just the Udyr for me. It's the fact that it seems like they're so tunnel visioned that they don't even want to change. Like, who goes into a playoff series and only prepares one set, like one play style?
Right. I mean,
doubt,
you
That doesn't
still
make
see-
sense to
I
me.
doubt that they only prepared one play style, but I think it was that Evil Geniuses
Well, they-
kept giving it to them.
But they didn't even look good on it. So why would you
It-
keep playing the one over and over again that you didn't look good on?
Yeah, I don't know. And bot lane. I mean, Sword Art played a few different champions, but lost has basically played Zaya all series and one game Tristana. So it feels like it feels even in the Liquid game. I think he literally played Zaya Tristana.
To be fair,
I mean,
they're
they're
only
just-
the two strongest AD carries at the moment.
I mean, Kai'Sa's still up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I'm
still
not
see it
saying,
that much
Yeah.
anymore.
but I don't know. They do seem to be picking the same picks pretty much
Okay.
consistently.
So, moving on from TSM, let's talk about TSM, guys. So TSM 100 Thieves. Are either of these teams a pretender, or are they both? Are either of these teams a contender, or are they both pretenders here?
I think TSM can win spring. I really think they can. I'm trying to get rid of my biases of being a TSM fan, but they did some work in regular season, and sadly we haven't got to see how. I don't think we've gotten to see how good of a team they are this playoffs, which is weird to say considering it's usually the other way around. But who knows? Maybe they just got lucky in all of their regular season games, and they're not the number 2 team like.
Well, no, I don't think it's about luck. Many people have came out and talked about it, but playoffs is a lot more than skill. A team can go 18-0, 17-1. What was Immortals, and then flunder in playoffs. Flunder.
Cloud9 last split, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because they didn't go. They came in like second or third. So I mean, they kind of did it, but like it was more the split they started. Their downfall started in the split. But I'm saying, look at that Immortals roster. They had no business losing in playoffs, right?
Mhm.
But the problem is, playoffs is so much more than just skill. So even these one-off games you've been winning during the split, you start to lose in playoffs because mental is a huge part. It takes over in playoffs. It's so much different than just a one game thing. 2, adaptation. If you can't adapt, you cannot win. As simple as that.
I think that's a big one.
And then
Momentum. I mean, that might
momentum, and then
But-
there is stage fright. There's a lot of factors, and I think the biggest one that really is just a stamp on TSM right now. It's like I can't really believe that they can win the split. It's the adaptation. I feel like they've played 2 series and they haven't looked good in either, and they haven't adapted at all. Their one adaptation was game 2 versus Liquid. Or 1. What game was it when they played Lucian mid? It was game 2. And that was the worst adaptation I've ever seen.
That was a bad draft, but yeah.
But that was the only one. That's the only time they have played something different, which is a lot of what Team Liquid got roasted for summer last year. And that's why everyone said that they lost to TSM and that they didn't make it to finals.
Yeah, they were very one-dimensional.
Yeah, it's because they didn't adapt at all. It worked in the regular split because they could just work on not making mistakes and they could win games by that. But then when you had to face a team and you had to not make mistakes against one playstyle and then completely flip the script on you, and then you have to play against something completely different, then you just start losing because you can't adapt. And I think TSM's stuck in a spot right now where they're not adapting. And I don't know if it's because they're young coaching staff. I don't know if it's because they're just not confident in playing anything else. There could be a lot of issues. I don't know if it's more coaching staff or more player base. I don't know if the players are like, we have to play this. This is the only thing that's working in scrims. And we just have to draft to get advantages late or try and weather the early game or something. I don't know what's going on, but that's definitely worrying for me.
There's definitely not the TSM that was in regular season.
No.
I think I would agree with Dakota. I mean, it's really hard to say that TSM could possibly play, win the split after watching last week. I think they're top 4, which is what they are. I think they're definitely top 4, and I think 100 Thieves is also top 4. But it's hard to say that either one of those teams would be able to contend versus Liquid or Cloud9. I mean, both. I would have said after the regular season that TSM had a chance, but after watching playoffs, they just it looks
Even
like
after
their
the Liquid series, though,
has just not been.
I would still put them as contender because the Liquid series just looked like they completely had it wrong.
Yeah.
Their practice was bad, and they tried to do too much.
Yeah, and
But then when they come back down and they work on their play style. The one they played the whole split, and it still looks. In my opinion, this series looked worse than the 100 Thieves series. Then that's when it gets worrying.
Yeah.
I
agree. I would still put
TSM
them.
series for me though was I touched on it a little bit, but the Hooney picks. Hooney wasn't the carry every game. You know, he was more of the supportive type.
And to be fair, I think the issues are definitely fixable. The problem is, it doesn't look like
they're trying. Yeah,
it doesn't look like their preparation is as good as. Liquid's preparation looked good. I don't know. To me, it just doesn't seem. It doesn't seem like they could beat Liquid or Cloud9 right now. Not after last series. Maybe they switch it up. Maybe they fix their issues. I'm sure they know what their issues are, but whether or not they actually fix them, that's the.
With
let me throw. Okay.
I got one more thing. I really hope that TSM is playing some scrims against Cloud9 this week.
I don't know that they will.
They probably will, unless they refuse.
Unless they refuse.
Cloud9's been playing everyone except. Obviously they're probably not playing scrims since Team Liquid.
I really hope.
I'm assuming they want TSM scrims.
I really hope they talk to TSM or talk to Cloud9. Jerkson calls up. Who's C9's coach now?
Ran over, but it would be owners. I don't think coaches schedule scrim. I think it's owners. So it'd be Jack and Reggie.
No. I was saying I hope Jerkson calls up Rainover and gets their game plan for how to 3-0 100 Thieves.
I don't know.
Dude, honestly, it did not look like Rainover was big braining 100 Thieves. Honestly, it just looked like skill gap. I don't think you can do what Cloud9 did and make it work. Like their last draft was so abysmal, it makes me cringe. They drafted no front line, and then they just threw Set in there, and they're like, bandage. We have no front line, but it's okay because we have Set.
Set does it all.
We had Karma support. It was Karma support. I think it was Tristana, Oriana, and then they had some. I think it was Lilia jungle. So there's literally no front line at all, and then they're like, Set top, we got it, and they ended up winning the game.
Sounds big brain to me.
Yeah, but anyway, okay, so scenario here. Because in my eyes right now, until I see this series coming up, both teams are pretenders. I don't think either team can contest unless they prove me wrong on Sunday. Sunday is going to tell a lot for me because I think if I see some really, really good stuff Sunday, maybe one of these turns into a contender. So let me give you the scenario. One of these teams 3-0s the other and look immaculate. They just completely outplay. TSM 3-0s 100 Thieves or 100 Thieves 3-0s TSM. Do they become contenders or do we just assume the other team faltered?
I think it also depends on the other series. If Cloud9 TL is really close, then I think it would still be hard.
5 games. Cloud9 TL goes 5 games, like everyone predicts, and it's really the last game's really scrappy, and they both play pretty well.
I think it's possible, but I mean, if both TL and Cloud9 are looking really good during that series, then I think it would be hard to. I think it would still be hard to put them.
So let me give you first place going into finals versus the field. So it would be whoever wins Cloud9 Team Liquid versus whoever loses plus these two teams. Who do you have winning the split? So that's 3 versus 1.
C9 or anyone else?
Kind of. So it's like, okay, so whoever wins this upcoming series between TL versus C9 automatically moves to finals, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So what do you put that team's chances versus whoever makes it out of TSM 100 Thieves? Then they'll go on to play the loser of Cloud9 TL, and then the winner will go on. So out of you'll have a 3-team seed here.
50%.
It's not 50%. It's not percentage. It's who do you take? Who do you think's gonna win?
Brandon,
It's field versus the rest.
No, I get it now, but it's so hard to say because I think whoever wins TL versus Cloud9 this week is going to be the same. Whoever loses is going to be the same team that plays the other team in finals, and I honestly think it could go either way. So I don't know. Yeah, that's so hard.
I think this is probably one of the closest.
I
I
will
think
take.
it's one of the closest playoffs we've had.
I'll take the winner.
You'll take winner.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take loser. I think
I'd say
loser.
What?
Loser sees more. Gets to play more. I think loser wins.
Now wait, does the loser then have to play that Saturday and that Sunday for the championship?
They do. Yeah, they do.
Yes. They have to play. They have to win. And then they all have to play in the finals.
Dude, look at NA's history with gauntlets, dude. Because this is just a gauntlet. Losers bracket is a gauntlet. NA has ridiculous. The first place team literally has won the gauntlet like one time, I think. The first place team has won the gauntlet one time, and the team who ran the gauntlets won every other time.
But would the loser be running the gauntlet? Isn't
they are running the gauntlet? They are. No, because you got to consider the gauntlet the entire playoffs, right?
No, what he's saying is, if Team Liquid loses, and then they go to the losers bracket and then just win a game, is that considered running the gauntlet, like compared to what TSM and 100 Thieves are doing?
You're in the gauntlet. The gauntlet is considered the bottom half.
I wouldn't say that's
bracket.
running the gauntlet.
I consider it running the gauntlet.
I wouldn't consider it running the gauntlet.
Listen, you get to the gauntlet later, but you're still running the gauntlet, dude.
I'd say
you're still. It's like you're in a helicopter. You get dropped off near the end of the gauntlet, but you still run through the finish line through the gauntlet.
You didn't run the gauntlet.
The other team is standing at the top of the mountain, trying to stroll down through the finish line, but they didn't go through the gauntlet.
You're right. I'm changing my answer to
listen.
Exactly. Exactly.
TSM's winning it all.
TSM's running the gauntlet, though. You got to think.
Go put on your TSM jersey. Go put on your TSM jersey.
I actually have my TSM jersey on. You can't say you did an obstacle course if all you did was walk around it.
Yeah, but if you finish the obstacle course, if you cross the finish line on the obstacle course, because you did that last obstacle, you did more of the obstacle course than the person who took pictures and said, "Guys, I did the obstacle course."
Okay. I'm still gonna take the winner.
I'm gonna say either. I'm saying the winner of 100 Thieves. TSM's gonna win it.
Wow.
Okay.
That's not even what I was asking. That's bold. Is that your guarantee?
No, not my guarantee. Not my guarantee.
That's bold.
Okay. So that's enough of pretender versus contender.
Yeah, we can move on to matchups.
I mean, since we're talking about the TSM 100 Thieves game, do you want to go ahead and do predictions for that series?
We can.
We already talked about how each team win.
Yeah, we can go. I mean, we kind of touched on that. If you guys don't want, we can just do a brief overview and then do predictions on that, and then go into TEL versus C9.
Yeah.
So TSM versus 100 Thieves. The only real stats I'm going to throw out here are TSM 2-0'd 100 Thieves during regular season, although that really doesn't matter now.
Nope.
And I think the key matchup here is mid lane. I think as you saw in the EG series, bot and top. I mean, though they had their ups and downs, I think the game was won through mid game pressure, going into jungle and continuing from there.
I'll be looking at top laner in this series personally.
You'll be looking at
Because
top. I don't.
yeah, just because I think mid might be the key matchup, but I'm curious to see how Huni does because if he plays,
But that's my thing though, because Huni was losing every matchup and they still won. So I don't think
yeah, but
top really had much to do with their victories. I think their saving grace this past weekend was Power of Evil getting some plays off where he gave them advantages. He pushed a wave, got to somewhere early. It was usually the neutral objectives mid game where TSM started coming back like
Right.
every game.
well,
They
for
would
me
have
though,
more
I still
people there.
think. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I still think I would be looking at top just because I think if Huni plays like he did during the regular season, then I would favor TSM. But
If he plays like he did last week, I'd favor 100 Thieves.
yeah,
And
it's just because I agree that Power of Evil is definitely kept him in that series. I agree, he played really well. But
Alright.
I don't think they would have been in that position if it wasn't for Huni.
But we don't have to do much debating. Let's just get right into predictions and why you predict it. Anyone want to start?
I'll go. I mean, I would love to say TSM, but I'm just gonna assume that they don't change much because you can't know how much they're gonna prepare. And just based off last week's games, I would say 100 Thieves 3-2.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm gonna have to just slightly disagree with Brandon here, but I am gonna agree with him who the winner is. I'm gonna say 100 Thieves 3-1.
I think Oda's gonna go for
Dang.
TSM.
Dude, I don't know. I don't
it's
know.
So hard.
Literally,
it's so hard.
Every
Because-
series so far, I have predicted for TSM. That's the only two I've gotten wrong was TSM's because I predicted them to beat TL. They got smacked, and then I was like, okay, well TSM doesn't look like they know how to play League of Legends anymore. I predict EG to win 3-2. Guess what? They win 3-1, even though it looks so
You
bad.
should predict 100 Thieves then.
And so my gut is saying predict 100 Thieves. But
You
I'm
should
done
predict-
predicting what my gut says because
You should
TSM
predict
just
100
proves me
Thieves.
wrong every single time. So I'm going with the colors I have on. TSM
Oh.
wins it
100
3-2.
Thieves.
TSM wins it 3-2, and they win it off of they are going to win a
At
game
least we know we're right, Trevor.
off of a Baron steal. That's my guarantee. TSM is going to win this series 3-2. That's not my guarantee. My guarantee for this week, TSM is going to win one of their games off a Baron steal.
I don't know. I think if TSM fixes their problems, then I could even see them winning. But it's so hard to assume that they're gonna come into the series with all their problems solved. It's so hard to say that they're gonna come in and start not picking Camille TP because clearly they saw something in Camille top TP teleport or TP ignite that works. But I don't know. It's hard. Because you don't know how much they're actually preparing and how much they're fixing. So yeah, I would favor 100 Thieves.
Wait,
because
Trevor, you
they
said
look better.
3-1?
I did. I did. I said 3-1, 100 Thieves.
Dang, Trevor, you're fucking get smacked. Okay. Okay. Dang, you guys surprised me. I thought you were both gonna be like TSM 3-2 because
No.
they're my boys and they always come through in the clutch.
I love TSM and I sincerely hope they win.
Yeah,
I do.
I
But
hope they 3-0 100 Thieves.
but you have to base it off of last week's games, and you can't assume that all the problems that they had last week are going to be fixed. And based off last week's games, I mean, 100 Thieves looked incredible. They looked like they knew what they're doing. They looked like they fixed a lot of their problems. They look like they're getting back to their beginning of the split form and that they're getting that identity back. Whereas TSM, they were in shambles. It looked like they had no idea what they were doing. this carry top lane when he's been playing weak side all split, and then even picking Nocturne and making him play weak on weak side with that. I don't know. It looked rough. I mean, and I could be wrong, but 100 Thieves just looked really good.
Yeah.
So, you guys want to move on to the other series?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
I locked in our predictions here, so we'll have those for next week. Just to go down the record, or I'll go down the record after we make our predictions for this next series. So TL versus C9.
This one should be a lot more hype, I think.
I think this is
really
the second hypest match of the playoffs, and I think the most hype match is when they ultimately play again in a week from Sunday.
Right.
But this one's going to be hype. This one decides who has to run the gauntlet. All right,
run the gauntlet.
And who does
correct,
it?
yeah.
Who has to walk around the gauntlet?
Yeah, and who has to walk around the gauntlet? I think this one's pretty close. I don't know. I honestly don't know who to predict. It's so hard because they both had 2 weeks off, or they had a whole week off, I guess. And they started scrimming again this week.
I can do my prediction first if you need to think about it.
Oh, I'm just going to talk about the series right quick first.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I think the key matchup, and maybe you'll agree with me on this one, Brian, is top lane.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
For sure. And I think it's hard. It's really just hard.
I think it's going to be the 2v2 more than just top lane.
Well, yeah, but I think I'm saying, like, if you had to pinpoint one matchup that you're like,
fair enough.
And I think it's not because it's like, oh my gosh, if Cloud9 top lane doesn't get ahead, they don't win. It's because Team Liquid focuses so much on making sure Alfari is ahead and they can play through that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's either TL snowballing the lead through top, or Cloud9 being like, okay, well we're gonna hold steady here, and we're not gonna let you just run over our top laner,
Yeah.
I think these are by far the two best teams at adapting so far. You can see it in the picks. Both series, way back when they played. I don't think the mid laner repeat picked at all for either. I think they talked about it on the dive. I think they didn't at all, actually. They actually only played one champion similar, too. In 7 games, there was only Orianna was both picked by Jensen and Perks, and that was it. And the rest were all unique picks. Top lane, they both had unique picks there. Jungle, so they've both shown the most flexibility, and so this is a really hype match because 2 weeks we really don't see what's going on.
Probably talking to his wife.
Yeah, it's okay, Brian. Just don't show your whip on stream.
I'm not.
Get it? Because he's whipped.
I got you. What were you saying, Dakota, about the series?
I don't remember. Yeah, it's gonna be super close. It's honestly, it's like super hard to talk about and predict because it's just like you don't have a lot to go on. Like their last match was like 4 weeks ago. It was pretty early on in the second half of the split. I know Cloud9 lost, but like, no, it was one of the last ones actually. It was one of the last. It was the second to last, third to last week. Either way, it's a pretty good while ago, and it's really hard because both teams have changed a lot, and so it's gonna be interesting. Brian, you said you already had your prediction, so you want to go ahead?
I'm going to predict Team Liquid 3-1.
Okay.
I was gonna say Team Liquid 3-2.
See, I don't bet against my boys, all right? And something I will never bet against. I did this one split, all right? I said, you know what? G2 is not even that good. Rogue is going to beat them last split. And what they do, G2 wiped the floor with everyone. You want to know why?
Why?
Playoff perks is real, baby. You never bet against playoff perks.
That is true.
All right.
Playoff quirks.
Cloud9 3-1, easy going into the finals. Perks is gonna be
But
happy.
then
He's gonna be
Liquid's just gonna run
smiling
the
cheek to
gauntlet.
cheek. What?
Then Liquid's just gonna run the gauntlet.
Liquid is gonna run the gauntlet. So
And they're gonna
I'm scared about that. But Cloud9 3-1 here. It's really just a top gap game here, boys.
I would like to make a prediction.
Yeah, go ahead.
A guarantee.
Your guarantee?
My guarantee. Alfari solo kills Fudge one time in the series. At least once.
Big predictions. Brandon, you better hit your guarantees.
All right, mine's gonna be a little spicy and probably not gonna happen. I
3-1.
guarantee there's gonna be a pentakill this weekend from a team.
Maybe. There were 2 quadras last week. There were two
Yeah.
quadras.
Exactly. I watched the games over and I saw that there are 2 quadras, so that's what mine. I guarantee that sometime during this weekend there will be a pentakill.
I'd love to see a pentakill. Pentakills are hype.
What if it was an FBI pentakill to win Game 5 versus TSM? Would you love to see that one?
I might cry.
I guess at least I
At least you predicted it right.
Yeah. Exactly.
So just to talk a little bit about our predictions after we made that prediction. Score is currently me at 2-2 because I can't, for the life of me, get a prediction for the TSM series right. Trevor and Brandon are tied at 3-1 because they're dookie and they both predicted.
Because we're better than you, that's why.
Yeah, we're just better.
Except for that Dignitas prediction.
Yeah, Brandon actually would have a perfect record if you just would have been swayed by my immaculate argument.
I was so hype on Dignitas, and they just sucked so much last weekend. They just, I was hoping for a close series. I was like, Dignitas versus Son of Thieves. They both seem like they're pretty good, and I think it's gonna be really close. And then Dignitas just.
Whose guarantee are we most confident in?
Probably.
Definitely mine, right?
No.
Yeah,
Every single series, TSM's still on a Baron, right?
But win a game off of Baron still. Are you talking like still Baron, then march it down, or are you talking about still Baron turns tide?
Still Baron turns tides like it did in that EG game. Like not they instant
Probably
march
that
it down.
One, probably
like,
that one, because
it's like
I guarantee you they probably won't have a lead in.
Yeah, Speaker's pretty good.
They won't have a lead in half the games at least, so they're gonna be behind. And
I gotta go a safer one because last week I felt like mine was super. Like I felt really confident in mine last week and threw out the window game 3 that they were gonna EG was gonna ban 2 mid laners every single game.
Oh,
game 3 they didn't even worry about.
To be fair, Power of Evil picked first rotation. Or first.
Yeah, I mean but like.
What was yours last week, Trevor?
Jizuki is gonna have at least 5. He had 4 in game 1.
He had 4 in 2. He had 4 in 2 games, Trevor. He had 4 deaths in 2 games, but he never hit 5.
4 what?
4 deaths. Trevor predicted that he was gonna hit 5 deaths in one game. He never did. Brian was the only one who got his right because Brian with the little cheeky one. Oh, they're gonna pick or ban Tristana.
That's right.
It
was super safe.
No more of that. Okay?
I literally think that they did in both series. I think Tristana was like 100% in both.
Well, she's the strongest AD carry right now because you can flex her mid.
I was like,
and not to mention FBI is insane with her.
I could have went back to my they're gonna ban Azir every single time against PoE guarantee.
Did they?
That wouldn't work though.
They did. They banned it every single game. EG did.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't want to do pick and ban.
Maybe that's why TSM looks so bad.
We have to limit pick and ban ones. Okay, because we can't just say they're gonna pick or ban a champion because that's so like you have such a high percentage chance of that. All right, anyway. So moving on, we're starting our new segment. You guys have to log into the YouTube page to do this. It is posted on private.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm already on it.
The YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a page. If you're streaming your screen, take it off the screen you're streaming to make sure you don't give away the credentials here. But it's page 7. It's sheet 7. It's the login info.
I don't know that I have the login info for our YouTube.
I literally just told you where it was.
Oh, on the.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm gonna bring on my screen so the people on YouTube can watch it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Like you're gonna share your screen or
No,
what?
no. Because remember it didn't work. I'm assuming you can just see it, or do I need to share my screen?
No. We can all see it.
All right.
Hold up.
I don't know what
Let me
quality is.
get
It
it
might
up.
be. It's pretty bad quality, but
All right. So
it is what it is.
They
boys.
can't see you, but they can see the screen.
They can't see me. Oh, thank the Lord.
All right. So
You feel me, Brandon?
you gonna give a little.
They can't see me.
You gonna give a little overview of what we're gonna watch before I hit play.
Okay, so this is our new segment, a segment that we thought we probably should have, considering our name is Wombo Combo. This is Wombo Combo, believe it or not. We're going to be discussing the best team fights this week in League. I think I did 6 team fights that really had some nice synergy, nice Wombo Combo-esque plays. We're going to run through them. We're going to give our overview on them and just kind of analyze them. Just good fun party stuff, you know?
All right. I'm gonna play the first clip, and when it cuts, I'll tell you guys when.
Yeah, just tell us when to press play.
I just hit play.
Is the quality bad for you guys too, or?
Yeah, it's pretty. I think it's on like 720, so it's not.
Oh, okay, that's watchable. Okay, I was looking.
What do you mean, Trevor? You can't just watch it. We got to analyze it step by
We
step.
gotta analyze it. I'm watching it currently.
Okay. Everyone, okay.
That was it was hard
All
to
right, so
watch. The first clip.
initial reactions here. This is a beautiful setup from EG. Trevor, you just keep watching over and over. You can follow along. The quadra kill here. If you go back to the start, and I'm going to slow it down some. Actually, I'm going to go from 0.5.
I got a 0.5.
TSM just screwed themselves here by going in this alcove.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They were getting collapsed on hard, and they tried to turn and kill Meganar. But then who he comes in with Rel hits this giant 3.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I meant earlier about the TF. Like he came in so late.
Yeah.
To that, but
this is just a beautiful setup though from EG. They know their strengths. They want to hit all the CC onto the back line and get them out, because once they kill the Zaya, there's not a lot of sustain damage. I mean, you do have the Twisted Fate, but it's just bursting there and out. So once you get the Zaya, you pretty much win the team fight as long as Tristan is still alive.
I mean,
so
by the time they killed the Zaya, the fight was over.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it was a good setup. And then you have Tristana.
This is a massive ult
around.
from Huhi, and then Jizuke hits a really nice one going into. So all around, there's a good team fight. I'd rate it 3 potatoes out of 8. What about you guys?
We're doing potatoes.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Yeah, I could see.
I don't know about 3 out of 8. When I think Wombo Combo, I think something flashy, something immediate.
3 out of 8's not even good, Trevor.
I'm giving it 1 out of 8 potatoes.
Yeah, I think I'd give it 7 out of 25 French fries.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, the reason it's lower on my end, I mean, the reason it has a little bit of height is because that freaking nasty ult from Rel here. Oh, I mean, she just... Nah, actually, yeah, you're right. It's 2 potatoes out of 25. It's 2 potatoes out of 8. You're right.
It's just such a slow thing to happen.
Yeah, because she only hit 2 frontline. All right, moving on. Next clip here.
I got this one.
Go ahead.
All right, so we see immediately this massive engage from the Rel into Meganar and just Hecarim charge on their 2 frontliners. And what do you do at that point? Then you get a massive shockwave onto the backline, and the fight's just over. There's nothing you can do.
It's beautiful positioning, especially with the Ori ball. waiting till the precise moment to hit R.
Yeah,
I love watching Oriana in pro play.
Oriana
Just
Rel is
because
such a good
watching how they move the ball around, like I don't know. I was watching highlights from Power of Evil and watching his Oriana game. I don't know. It's interesting if you like pay attention to the ball and like what they do, like where they put it to zone off people.
I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
watch it one
I
time
love
in
watching.
I'm gonna watch it in 0.5 speed.
Yeah.
I love watching Oriana in pro play, but
That was a beautiful flank from Hecarim. Like they had such good positioning here.
They did.
They had every single angle blocked off, ready to engage, and they had their Kai'Sa far enough away that she could not be engaged on, but she could ult in right when they engaged.
It's crazy to me that Fake God didn't kill Closer there. I don't know if you saw how low he was, but he was probably like 1 Q away from killing Closer. He just didn't do it.
yeah, it was.
I mean, he tried. He queued him. It just didn't. It wasn't enough.
And then that Oriana ball catching the two that were trying to run away.
Out of 8 potatoes for this one, I'm gonna give it a solid 6 potatoes.
6 out of 8.
6 out of 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I might go with 6 potatoes as well.
Like,
I'm
maybe,
gonna go
maybe 5 potatoes.
Temper your expectations here, boys. These are the worst ones. We're building up. We're gonna go with 4 out of 8 potatoes.
I think
it was solid team fighting, but Wombo combo wise, there wasn't huge flashy plays. They only hit 3 people with all the Wombo combo, right?
I think the only thing that could have made that better is if the Rel ult, if all the ults, like even the Oriana ult, piled onto it, even if it was just one person, I would have loved to see it.
Yeah. So 4 potatoes out of 8 on this one.
All right.
That's a good score, though.
4 out of 8. It's better than the last one.
I'd say 5 potatoes.
4 to 5. We'll say 4.5 potatoes out of 8.
So the
All right,
next
Brian, you want to take this next fight?
The next one was TSM versus EG.
Let me get to it.
I mean, if you notice a trend here, it's really just rel ults, guys.
Well,
all right, so
that was so good.
We're looking at game 5 of TSM versus EG. Okay. So off the back, it looks like TSM might be losing because you see that Camille's getting bursted down over there. But yeah, and then TSM just turning around. They burst down Jizuke. They kind of this one's kind of slow. They end up running away a little bit, and then they do it like a re-engage.
I did this fight not because necessarily it had the best like combos and like the most flashy plays, but this is some of the best positioning you can have on Tristana. Like,
yeah,
she gets bursted out so quick, but she stays alive and stays within auto attack range. So she just constantly is getting these 5 procs off on her bomb.
Mm-hmm. I'm watching it in 0.5, and just watching this, it's kind of crazy that TSM gets so low in this fight, and they run to the alcove and then they end up turning it around. You know, it's kind of funny because in the first clip you see them going into the alcove and they get quadra killed, but then they go into the alcove and they win. Yeah. So that one was really cool to watch because the
instant combo here from Huhi is so dirty. He hits a fat 3-man rel ult, and you think, oh my gosh, EG just wins the game here. They're up 17-8. Then they slowly get kited out more and more.
And Jizuke dies, and then TSM just kites back. They just kite back and they survive.
They're just constantly keeping people off Tristana, and she's just doing 1 million damage. So this fight, as far as Wombo combo goes, it might be a little low, but as far as just clean team fight, this is pretty good.
Sure.
In best team fights, I'll give it just positioning. And by the way, my YouTube's stuck at 0.5 speed. I don't know how to fix it.
But you know, and another thing that's really impressive is how far they're actually behind when they win this fight. They're a good bit behind, and they still end up winning because of the alcove play.
Yeah, 3K gold behind.
Yeah, and they win because they just keep Tristana alive. Tristana kites. She jumps over the rock in the alcove, and she gets free hits because no one can get to her.
This one's gonna be a nice 4.5 potatoes as well. Great team fighting.
I
Yeah,
would probably
but-
give this one a 3
Yeah,
because
this one's
as
lower.
far
There's
as
no
wombos,
Wombo.
yeah,
There's
as far
no
as
Wombo,
combos,
but it's not only Wombo combo. It's
baby.
also about positioning.
This next one is the one I was talking about, by the way, the one about Power of Evil.
Yeah, this one's good though. I'd give it 4.5 potatoes.
I would give it 3 potatoes.
It's not the best. It's not the most potatoes, but this. If I saw this team fight, I would clip it in my game. I'd clip this team fight, especially if I was at Tristana.
For sure, yeah. They
Yeah.
played the team fight really well.
Okay, so this next one, this is where it starts heating up.
This is the one I was
have we
talking
run through
about when I
three?
was
Yeah.
talking about the Oriana.
These last 3 are so good. Like
Yeah. This team fight, it's really good.
this one's so dirty. This is the one where they used. This is where they got the Nocturne Oriana one really good because
And just pay attention to the ball. Yeah. If you just pay attention to the Ori ball, this is the one I was talking about where I was like trying to watch the Ori ball the whole time.
Yeah.
But like the way he moves it around, he zones them off, and no, it was a really good fight. I'll let you take it, Dakota.
Starting this fight off. All right. So first off, you got the 2-man sleep from Lilia. All right. So EG is about to go in. They're about to hit these massive combos because they got the sleep onto Nocturne Udyr. And so it looked promising. But as you can see, right before Jizuke goes in, right here, Sword Art hits the most cheeky exhaust ever. Like he's not even close. He just walks up exhaust and runs away.
He was exhausted almost every time he went in.
Yeah. And then that turn right when everyone goes in on EG. Pop goes the ult, and that's just like a 3. Is it 4-man shockwave?
I think
It would have been
Into-
4. It would have been
Into
4. but all of it-
Zaya's just straight damage, and then they just clean up. They just chase him down and clean up. But that was an insane ult. Like that was such because if you look at this, a number of teams would have placed this ball and they would have pulled the trigger right here. Right before they go in, they'd place that ball and they would pull the trigger and they'd make sure the enemy team doesn't get to go in because they would hit the shockwave and then they would just get out. But Power of Evil held it just to the right moment when all 3 of their engage went in. All 3 and pulls them out of their engage tools and bursts them all down.
Mm-hmm.
That shockwave alone was 5 potatoes. So this fight gets 5.5 potatoes out of 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I think 5.5 is a great number.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna go
maybe
6.
6.
I'm gonna go 6 potatoes.
6 potatoes.
6.
Trevor,
okay.
you want to take the next one?
So
This one is an intense team fight. I'll just tell you off the bat. The reason I clip this is because there's actually so many insane ultis from both sides, even though the fight's pretty one-sided.
This is one that I knew would be on here because watching it was just so good. So starting off, we see the gold deficit. TSM's down 2K gold. Really losing
normal TSM game.
Normal TSM game. They're losing the early game. 22 minutes in, there's only been one fight, 3 dragons taken. But Flippin' Deathly's just out of position here. He's in. As you can see, I know he just got hooked, but you can't see where I'm seeing. But he's in front of his carry or his tanks as the carry. Gets hooked by Sword Art and then just engages the fight. Now I just want to say I paused that. I love the Nocturne pick. We might have dogged on it, but the Nocturne ulti just to get rid of Vision in a team fight is so good.
It really is. It really is.
And you could just target that Tristana too, which is
team fight.
really useful.
It looked so okay. Start to finish, this team fight starts off.
That massive ult from Jizuke.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not where it starts off. This team fight starts off engaged from Sword Art. He hits the Tristana. This fight looks so bad for EG. And then you see Nocturne go instantly in. But then in the Nocturne ult, EG starts fighting back. And They're getting some damage onto Lost. Lost has to ult out. And then Jizuke pops back to his clone, to his soul. And he hits the nastiest ult with Impact jumping on top. And it's like, oh my gosh. They might actually win. The exhaust gets thrown on last second to stop any more damage so Lost can stay alive. And he kites back. And TSM all jumps in at the same time.
And if you look at
gives
Power of
Lost
Evil,
Quadra.
wasn't even touched the whole fight. Power of Evil was just sitting in the back doing damage the entire fight and was barely touched.
This is a easy a 7 out of 8 potatoes, boys.
It's crazy to me that no one from TSM died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If they
Because that Jizuke ult, as soon as I saw that, in real time, I was like, we lost the fight. That was insane.
That was an insane ult.
Beautiful combination.
I was gonna say, if Deathly is alive during that engage, TSM gets wiped.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah,
Seven
that was
potatoes.
A Tristana jumping in on that, getting resets, I think TSM gets wiped.
Yeah, from both teams' side, that was such a good fight. If Deathly never got caught, that would have been so good for EG. And they played it really well for not having an AD carry. They just didn't have the damage to finish it off.
Yeah.
7 potatoes. Really flashy, nice plays. And now we come to the last one, Brian. You want to run us through this one? This is the one I deemed as probably the biggest Wombo combo one, I think.
Sure. So to set up the clip, it starts with Dignitas 10K, or not Dignitas in the game, but 100 Thieves is 10K ahead, and they're marching into Dignitas's base. So you see a massive rel engage with ultimate, and then it's just cleanup pretty much. I mean,
what is it? Freak called it the equestrian combo.
Yeah, it was the rel and the Hecarim.
Well, it was the three ult combos really what is so beautiful. Okay, so starting out you have rel flashing into dismount ult onto 3 backline members, into Hecarim ulting over the top, and while they're feared, all of them get knocked back into the carries by Gragas ult.
Yep.
So they can't move and they can't do anything because because the fear from Hecarim ult, and Gragas ult knocks them straight into the damage, and so they instantly get wiped, and the only 2 left standing are the tanks.
Well, that's such a good Gragas ult.
It is.
I actually didn't even notice the Gragas ult.
This is
the game.
8 out of 8 potatoes, Wombo combo. This is the type of combo you see, and you're like,
yeah,
that's going on a highlight reel.
This is what I mean when I say a Wombo combo.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That was a beautiful fight. Yeah,
beautiful.
The rel jumps in with ult, gets the knock up, and then right after that stuns them. Hecarim over top with the fear, and then the Gragas ult, which displaces and splits up the entire team. And then the other,
the rel to start it off, that is so beautiful.
And I think rel
hits the first enemy, right? It doesn't go through it. So you instantly flash as rel over the Renekton and Udyr here. They stun Udyr. She flashes over into, is that mount or dismount? I don't even know.
It's
hits
dismount.
2 champions, gets behind them, ults immediately to pull him in as Hecarim comes over the top and hits a 4-man fear. And Gragas throws Gragas right at the time they're getting feared.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, 10K behind, they could probably literally just do whatever and win, but still, that was
you don't get as good as execution as that. Like
no, it was beautiful.
Definitely the best Wombo combo that we've seen.
8 out of 8.
8 out of 8.
All right, and we're back to you guys so they can see you.
It's a beautiful team fight.
It was
and this fight here is actually why I'm so unsure this weekend about TSM versus 100 Thieves. I understand why you give it to 100 Thieves, guys, because that was just so clean.
Yeah, especially looking back at that Wombo combo, it's reinforced my opinion that 100 Thieves is going to win.
What a compilation of clips, boys. What Wombo combos we had there.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Rate the video out of 8 potatoes, boys. I give it an 8.
The entire video?
Because It embodies the name.
I'll give the
Now,
video.
the Wombo Combo podcast.
I'll give
We actually have Wombo Combos in
I'll,
our podcast.
I'll give the video an 8 out of 8. I'll give the segment execution a 1 out of 8 potatoes.
A 1 out of 8. It will get better as it goes along. This is our 3rd episode. This is the first time trying this.
We should figure out how to watch it together next time.
Yeah, there's a website you can watch
hey,
things together on.
Honestly, I think what we should have done is, Trevor, you just stream the screen that it's on via YouTube, but then you can stream your screen through Discord. And even though it's not high quality, we can see where you're at because they're not seeing Discord screen anyway. And then we can watch it too, and then that'll just keep us on the same page. But that's just
We'll figure it out for next episode.
For sure.
All right, but I think that's our last thing that we had planned today.
That is it. Always remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, if you made it this far in the video, thanks.
Yeah.
If you made it this far in the video,
you can rate the podcast in the comments.
Out of
the potatoes.
Video, comment your favorite color. No one's gonna know to do this. Comment your favorite color, and we'll give you a shout out. In the next video.
Where's that notification squad at? Am I right?
Where's that notification squad at?
All right.
We'll give you a shout out.
Thank you so much for watching.
We're not gonna get a ton of views here, but any questions or any topics you guys want us to talk about, go ahead and shoot us a little comment, and we'll think about it.
Please, we're open to suggestions.
This is a new podcast, and we hope to get better and better each week. So hopefully we can gain some support and some viewership. And we'll see you next week. Hopefully we have some interesting games this weekend, and peace out.
Peace.